Good morning, Santa Clarita. Welcome in. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. This is SCVi Charter School's Eye on the Valley Homeschooling Answers. I am your host, Matt Watson. It is good to have you. This special edition of Eye on the Valley Homeschooling Answers is brought to you by KHTS in collaboration with SCVi and iLEAD schools. We come to you live each Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. And as you know, we launched in mid-March as a way to support you with your distance learning journey, and you made it. You made it to summer break. Congratulations. But do remember, our website is still up. We launched that website in mid-March as well to help you out. Homeschoolinganswers.com has got all different kinds of resources for your kids, help keep their academic skills sharp, and help keep you and your family happy, healthy, moving forward, growing. So as the summer continues on, as your kids need a little bit more practice, or, they've got some fun, exciting, engaging activities. I think we've got some videos of Aiden Bybee. She's our outdoor classroom teacher, and she's got some fun activities for kids. There's some cool math activities, all kinds of neat stuff for your kids. Help them keep their brain active and the learning and growing continuing. And there's also plenty of parenting tips for you there at homeschoolinganswers.com. So why don't you head on over and check it out. We have got a great show for you today. We've got Chris Paz from the Mercedes-Benz of Valencia dealership coming in just a minute. We've actually got him on the line now. We'll get to him, like I said, in just a minute. And we've also got our show's official licensed marriage and family therapist, Christina DeBray. And in hour number 2, we're going to be speaking with Malika Donovan. Malika is the director of Empower Generations. That is a center for pregnant and parenting teens. She's doing some amazing stuff, and her kids are up there just conquering the traumas that they're up against. It's a heartwarming story. And we've got some important updates for you as well. So do stick around. Yeah, I know. You are probably listening at home on your smart device, right? You're listening on Alexa or your Google device, and you're getting ready for work. But when you hop in your car, just pop us on the radio, 98.1 FM or 1220 AM. Shane, I know the terrestrial radio folks are your favorite listeners. So do you prefer an AM listener or an FM listener?
Anybody that likes just to turn on their radio in the car, love them. Love them. It's becoming a lost art. So don't scroll, though. You have to stay on either 98.1 FM or AM 1220. Either one is fine with me, but we like them both, Matt.
Tune it in and rip the knob off. There we go. Cool. But, when you get to work, you probably don't have a radio there, so you're going to have to switch over to your computer. You've got 2 options when you get there. We've got Facebook Live. Those of you on Facebook Live, good morning. Peering in on the studio, just check out the stream there at KHTS Radio, or you can just pull us up on hometownstation.com and stream live there on our website, or you can always download that app, on iPhone or Android device. We've got the KHTS app. You can listen live there as well as check out local news stories. So here we go. You are coming out. You're coming out of that quarantine. I just keep expecting every time I walk out of the house to hear Gloria Estefan in the background singing about how I'm coming out of the dark. You're coming out after 3 months, and maybe you're heading to the beach this weekend. You're going back into the office for the first time. Maybe you're looking forward to heading to your brother-in-law's house for the 4th of July holiday next week. But, it's that same old car that's sitting there waiting for you in the garage. It's maybe time to up your game a little bit. Head out and get a new car. How cool would it be to roll up at the brother-in-law's house in a brand new Mercedes? That's right. My first guest is Chris Paz. He is the COO at Mercedes-Benz of Valencia. Growing up in Montana and then later here in Southern California, Chris graduated from Elliott Pope Prep and Idlewild. He did his college studies at Cuesta College and then Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. Professionally, Chris has demonstrated tremendous talent and understanding in the automotive industry, climbing his way up the ladder of several car companies. Sales manager, general sales manager, senior sales manager, general manager, and now Chief Operating Officer at Mercedes-Benz of Valencia and Encino as well. He's not only a strong leader, but remains extremely accessible and friendly. Chris, good morning. Welcome in.
Good morning. How you guys doing today?
Doing great. Thanks for joining us. Chris, I wanted to ask you, did you seriously do your elementary school in western Montana, your junior high school in Palos Verdes, and your high school in Idlewild, and then college up in San Luis Obispo?
little twisted there. Grew up in Palos Verdes and then went to a couple of schools, one in Montana and one in Idlewild.
Wow, man, you get around. So, so what did I miss in your bio? Did anything fun or exciting besides the moving around? Did you play any sports?
You know, I actually played golf professionally for a few years back in the early 90s, and then figured out I was going to be a guy who went broke trying to play golf for a living in the early 90s. So figured I better learn how to sell something, and cars seemed to be the easiest one to get into at the time.
Fantastic. I did not realize that. Most of us lose a lot of money playing golf. It's nice that you were able to get out there and play professional golf. That's incredible. All right, Chris, let's talk a little bit of business. You are the COO of Mercedes-Benz Valencia and Encino, is that correct?
That is correct.
Do you find it hard running both at the same time?
You know, thank God we got really good management in both stores, and if they do their things right, then I get to spend more time on the golf course and take credit for the successes.
Nice. That's a good leader right there. You know, the pandemic though must have been tough on you guys. Did you guys have to shut down for a while?
You know, there was a period of time where we had to shut down the sales side of the business for about a month. Service and parts was able to remain open. They were deemed essential services, and obviously we had to keep the frontline workers' cars running and make sure they could get to work and take care of the people who were still able to get up and around during that shutdown. But it was definitely a difficult month. We had to furlough about 80% of our workforce across 6 dealerships. And fortunately, that part is at least over for the time being.
Yeah, for the time being, we talk about that all the time, how, we never know if it's that second wave, if we're going to respike again. But you guys were able to finally open back up, and you guys are at full capacity now?
We are at full capacity as of the 8th of last month. They allowed us to open up showrooms, provided we did all the proper protocols between face masks, the hand sanitizers. We have cleaning crews in here all day long, disinfecting all the surfaces, and, removed most of the waiting areas and lounge areas in order to make sure we keep the social distancing protocols in place. And fortunately, we've done all that, and it appears the public is comfortable with that, because since the 8th, we've been back, I would say, even beyond pre-COVID numbers when it comes to sales and service right now.
Oh wow, that is fantastic. That's good to hear that that folks are not only able to get in there, but things are going well for you. So, does it still work the same way that we're used to a car buying experience work? Am I still able to come in and take a test drive, walk around the showroom? Is that all still business as usual?
You know, it is, and provided, especially with our Mercedes stores, provided someone comes in, and if it's somebody we know or a local from the community, a lot of the times if it's more comfortable for them, we'll allow them to do the test drive without any of our employees in the car in order to further kind of protect them and keep that distance in place.
Wow, that's very trusting of you, very, very, very healthy. But what an amazing experience. One of the things that it's always a little bit weird. You're driving around with someone that you don't really know, and it's a little bit more stiff. It must feel a lot more comfortable for your customers to be able to get in there and take a quick loop by themselves, be able to talk to their spouse openly and honestly without someone else sitting right there next to them. That's great.
And we've noticed it always smells more of brakes and tires when they come back from an alone test drive than when one of our people are with them.
Well, you got to get it out there and see what that thing can actually do. That's funny. Alrighty. So, 4th of July holidays coming up. Have you guys got any sales or anything like that going on?
We do, but we're also trying to be very cautious of the fact that we're trying to keep the heavier traffic all at one time down a little more than we used to. It's one of those situations where, it's easy to forget that we were closed down for a month, and now that we are reopened, start to think things are too much back to normal. And we're having to constantly remind ourselves and be aware that the most important thing we can do is protect our employees and our clients as well by making sure we provide a safe environment in order to avoid ever having to go through a shutdown like that again.
Chris, I'm just speechless. How remarkably responsible of you. The temptation would be, you guys are closed down for a month. Let's get the stampeding hordes in here. But in effort to not only keep your employees healthy, but to keep the community at large healthy, the idea is you stagger it out. That's wonderfully refreshing to hear. Now you guys still do offer that 50% off discount for anyone who interviews you on live radio, correct?
Yes, as long as the interview takes place on a Monday or Friday, though.
Oh, man.
I think we might have missed it by a day or so.
Shoot. I got to tell you, man, my aim has always been off. You get me on the golf course and you'll realize that real quick.
I think we all feel that way.
All right, Chris, anything else going on? Anything else that we're missing that we should let our listeners know about?
I just got to say, and I really see it throughout the whole auto mall up here in particular, and Don Fleming, who's the dealer association president over at Acura, really sent it out well, and we've gotten so much support from the rest of the dealer body and the city as well, just in knowing that everybody is doing the right things, making sure we do protect the community and that we continue to operate, do business, and support the community moving forward in the safest way imaginable to make sure that, something like the shutdown is something in the past and not something that's coming up in the future. And I just really have to kind of commend all of the dealers up here for the measures they've put in place and the way they've conducted business through this. And as a result of that, the support we've gotten from the city, even versus, what we deal with in Encino and downtown LA and some of the areas, the support we've gotten from the city up here has just been beyond phenomenal. And what a great place to do business and, get to operate out of.
It is awesome town. That's good to hear. Good to hear that you guys are getting the support you need, and I love hearing that you guys are working together and doing business responsibly. We're talking to Chris Paz, the Chief Operating Officer at Mercedes-Benz of Valencia and Encino. Chris, how can people get a hold of you? You got a website? You got a phone number that people can reach at?
You can go to mbzvalencia.com or 661-753-5555. Or come down anytime, Monday through Sunday. We'd love to see everyone coming in and getting back into the swing of the world.
Fantastic. That's mbzvalencia.com. We're going to go ahead and post that on the comment section of our Facebook live feed here, mbzvalencia.com. And what was the phone number again one more time?
It's 661-753-5555.
Fantastic. Chris, thank you so much for coming in this morning. We appreciate it.
Thank you, guys.
Chris Paz, the Chief Operating Officer at Mercedes-Benz of Valencia. Give him a call. He'll give you a great deal. And tell him that you heard him absolutely crush his interview on Eye on the Valley on KHTS. We are going to take a quick commercial break, but I do want to remind you, for more information on how COVID-19 continues to affect our valley, things continue to roll out in the weirdest and wackiest way here, and in not only in our area, but nationwide. I want you to go to hometownstation.com and click on the red banner. There you're going to find tips on the economy, health updates, and what's going on with businesses. I believe most businesses are back up to normal business hours, although some of them are on abbreviated hours. So go ahead and check out hometownstation.com and click on that red banner. You are listening to SCVi Charter School's Eye on the Valley, Homeschooling Answers. I'm your host, Matt Watson. We will be right back on.
The Santa Clarita Safer at Home restrictions are starting to loosen, and Santa Clarita Lanes is ready to go. Santa Clarita Lanes is committed to adhering to safety guidelines with 6 feet social distancing, plus extra cleaning and sanitizing throughout the day. Masks and temperature checks are required to enter. Santa Clarita Lanes is the perfect place to bring the kids who are getting just a bit restless. Feel confident that your local bowling alley is safe and clean. Santa Clarita Lanes, the perfect place for you and your family to have fun during these trying times. At Soledad near Center Point Parkway.
Introducing the new Impossible Crust Sandwich.
This is plants?
This is so good.
I can't believe it.
This definitely tastes just as good as sausage.
I think it might taste better than sausage.
Get the Impossible Crust Sandwich when you order on the BK app. You can also get free delivery, only at Burger King.
When you're looking for a midnight snack, sometimes fast food just doesn't cut it. California Bakery and Cafe is open 24/7, so you'll be able to find fresh donuts, danishes, bagels, all-natural fruit juices, gourmet sandwiches, and much more at any hour. With elaborate cakes for any occasion, including weddings, baptisms, anniversaries, corporate events, or any special event. California Bakery and Cafe in Santa Clarita is open 24 hours to satisfy any craving, anytime. Call us, 255-1254. That's 255-1254.
Doesn't it seem like it's been forever since we sat down in a restaurant and enjoyed a meal with our friends and our family? As the clock counts down to the expiration date of the current stay-at-home order, many of our local businesses are working hard getting ready to reopen, and that includes restaurants. Ultimately, it's up to our local health officials and our local restaurants to come up with safety plans moving forward, but we can help too. Plan on no more than an hour of dining out. If we don't linger, it allows more turnover for the restaurant, which in turn provides more business for them and more tips for servers who are out on the front line. It's a win-win. Together, we can create a new normal for Santa Clarita that's safe and enjoyable.
This is Dr. Palucki. As an essential service, we're staying open to reduce emergency room visits and support small business. In response to this state of national emergency, I'd like to assure you that I'm doing my part to slow the spread of COVID-19 by disinfecting all contact surfaces for each patient, using gloves and hand sanitizer before adjusting each patient, keeping doors open and electronically checking in patients, and staggering patient visits to ensure the minimal 6-foot distancing. I also recommend boosting your immune system. For everyone staying at home, please download our free Healthy Living COVID-19 program at drpalucki.com and the KHTS Coronavirus Experts page. And if you, a family member or employee, is experiencing neck, shoulder, back pain, neuropathy, or migraine, and feel chiropractic could help, please reach out to me. The first visit is free, and for small businesses, we will treat anyone you refer for credit with your company. Call 661-753-9340 to schedule an appointment. That's 753-9340. Let's keep common health problems out of the emergency rooms so our medical doctors can focus on the coronavirus crisis.
At iLEAD Agua Dulce, we believe the most important thing a child can learn in school is who they are. Life's real tests are never standardized, which is why we've developed an individual-based curriculum that values exploration, cooperation, and creativity. As our learners grow, so do we. Our tuition-free charter school is currently enrolling grades TK through 7th and adding 8th grade in 2020. Your young learner will be immersed in a unique environment where possibility and self-discovery are at the core of every experience. The Agua Dulce campus features beautiful indoor and outdoor spaces for hands-on inspiration, including a robotics lab, a garden bed, a greenhouse, and a technology-based exploratorium. iLEAD Agua Dulce is conveniently located on the east side of the Santa Clarita Valley, just off the 14 freeway. Check out our homeschool options too. To schedule a campus tour or learn more about our programs, visit iLEADAguadulce.org. We're enrolling now. iLEAD Schools. Free to think, inspired to lead.
Mission Valley Bank is a commercial bank in the Santa Clarita Valley that really puts the community into community banking.
At Mission Valley Bank, we strive to be a trusted advisor to our clients, and that means being an integral part of the communities we serve. We started the Give Where You Live program to help bring awareness to our nonprofit partners. We're more than just a local business bank. In fact, we're a full-service, independent commercial bank that is locally owned, community-minded, and relationship-driven. I'm Tamara Gurney, President and CEO of Mission Valley Bank, and I invite you to experience the Mission Valley Bank difference, where your success is our mission. We want to be your most valued bank.
Mission Valley Bank has been named Most Trusted Advisor Business Banker by the San Fernando Valley Business Journal 5 years in a row and received the Business Leadership Award by the Santa Clarita Valley Chamber of Commerce, Valley Industry Association, and SCVi Economic Development Corporation. Visit them at their Center Point branch location or at missionvalleybank.com. Member FDIC.
Finding the right lawyer can be a challenge, but in Santa Clarita, there's no need to search when there's Hacker Law Group, Santa Clarita's premier litigation firm. Jeffrey Hacker has represented celebrities, financial institutions, accident victims, real estate developers, realtors, contractors, businesses, nonprofit organizations, and other individuals and companies with their legal challenges. Mr. Hacker is one of Santa Clarita's leaders, consistently listed as one of our most influential. When everything is on the line and you need legal counseling, Visit hackerlawgroup.com.
Your hometown station.
KHTS is the only station I listen to.
98.1 FM and AM 1220.
Welcome back. I do that all the time, and I keep seeing Gabe Kaplan in my mind. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM, and I realized that I just lost 98% of our listeners with a Gabe Kaplan reference. It's an old 1970s sitcom. That's where John Travolta got his start.
Who?
John Travolta. You remember him. Pulp Fiction?
All right, I just messed with you. I had to throw that one out there.
This is SCVi Charter Schools Eye on the Valley Homeschooling Answers. I am Matt Watson. It is another gorgeous morning out there. We started out with a little bit of June gloom, a little bit of fog this morning, but it's burning off well. It's going to be not quite as warm as it was yesterday. It's going to be a beautiful day, perfect day for laying out by the pool this afternoon, hanging out, getting some exercise outside, stretching your legs. Perfect day to celebrate a holiday, you know? So here's what we've got to choose from today. You know, my regular listeners know that I love me some good minor holidays. Today is June 15th, and that's right, I know you've been waiting all year for it, but...
June 25th.
Thank you for the correction. It is June 25th.
Starting off on the right foot here.
Thank you. Thank you, Shane. Appreciate the correction. It is June 25th, but I still got my national holidays right. It is June 25th, and like I said, you've been waiting all year long. See, I just got so excited about this first one that it just threw me all off. Today is June 25th, National Catfish Day. That's right, all you bottom feeders, get out there and deep fry yourself some catfish. You know, you prepare catfish in a way that you disguise the taste of it. So enjoy yourself some catfish today, National Catfish Day. It is also National Strawberry Parfait Day. So there you go. You got your main dish. You got your dessert. So June 25th, National Strawberry Parfait Day. It is National Handshake Day. You know what? Do you all mind if we skip National Handshake Day 2020? Maybe we could just pass on that one. To come to think about it, how have you been handling that? You know, a handshake is a really big part of Western culture. I was blessed enough a little bit more than a year ago, actually, to head out to China and spend about a week and a half in China, and actually made quite a few business contacts. And as you all know, the handshake in China is done with the 45-degree bow from the waist, and you know, no physical contact going on. And I think, you know, I believe Carl Goldman, our station owner, had mentioned in his blog, gosh, it seems like an eternity ago, months and months ago, when he and his wife Jerry were on that cruise ship, the Diamond Princess, where we had such a tragic outbreak that infected so many people, including Carl, and boy, did they have to go through an odyssey of quarantine and treatments and all kinds of incredible things. We're so blessed to have them both back here. But Carl had mentioned in his blog that maybe we in America should adopt this bow rather than a handshake. So how have you been handling the handshake? It's tough, you know. You meet somebody new every now and then. We have somebody here in person in the studio that I meet for the first time, and you know, it's hard. There's that physical impulse to reach out your hand, welcome them. There's so much that we say in that handshake.
Usually, I try to just go for, you know, good solid eye contact, a friendly head nod, and a smile. Although we have the masks, you know, the smile doesn't always come through, but there's a lot that you can use. But it's body language, similar to the way the bow is. You know, sometimes we don't need that physical affirmation or contact in order to know, hey, you know, nice to meet you. We've now come in contact with another. But instead, that can be shown with just a simple salute with body language to convey, hey, you know, nice to meet you. I respect you.
Absolutely. I'm a big smiler, and I've got to learn to maybe incorporate a little bit more body language into it, because I walk by people on the street and I just smile at them, and they don't smile back. They just look at me like, who's this guy staring at me? And I'm like, no, I'm greeting you with a warm smile, but you can't see it because I got my mask on. So National Handshake Day. Why don't we celebrate National Handshake Day 2020 by figuring out what we're going to do instead of shake hands? I can appreciate it, and I appreciate the gesture that comes along with the elbow bump. The fist bump seems to be a little bit too close for most people. So let's maybe practice bowing. Let's do that for today, for National Handshake Day. Let's maybe practice bowing today. These last two, these next two holidays that we got going on, I am particularly excited about. So I mentioned, after your catfish dinner, you can have strawberry parfait for dessert. But if you're not a strawberry parfait fan, wait for it. Today is National Bomb Pop Day. You remember Bomb Pops? Yeah, the red, white, and blue popsicle. Oh, perfect. Today is National Bomb Pop Day. Get out there, enjoy yourself a bomb pop. Maybe swing by the grocery store and pick one up. Do they still sell bomb pops? I'm sure they do, right? If not, I bet you Smart and Final could hook you up.
You know what? I haven't looked for them recently. I've really transitioned into the Haagen-Dazs ice cream phase of my dessert section, so I'm not always focused on the popsicles. But I'm sure they've got to be out there. I still see the ice cream truck driving through many a neighborhood. So if you listen for that music, get out there. They've got to have them still.
That's interesting. Is the ice cream truck you would think that you can still totally socially distance, as long as the ice cream
I didn't mean in this climate.
mask.
I just meant in general. Like over the past couple of years, I've still heard it around.
Oh, I see.
I don't want to put them on blast.
Yeah.
Come on.
Okay, I don't know. I've got to listen. I have not heard the ice cream truck in the last few months. But and then this next one, I know many of you have already started freaking out about this next one. Today is, you might not recognize it by the name, it is National Leon Day. And no, this is not where we celebrate citizens named Leon, although a good buddy of mine, his dad's name was Leon, growing up in high school. Love me some Leon. But National Leon Day, Leon is actually Noel spelled backwards, and I know people are banging on the console right now. They knew it. Today is half Christmas, right? And that's what National Leon Day is. It is half Christmas. We are exactly 6 months out from Christmas. And what is National Leon Day all about? It's not just for freaking out and saying, hey, 6 months to Christmas. It's exactly. I am getting a text. My sources are saying yes, we do still sell bomb pops. So that is good to hear. Thanks Lisa for being on the spot there. We appreciate that. But National Leon Day is more than just saying, hey, we're exactly halfway to Christmas. National Leon Day is actually a way for reminding those of you that are crafters, those of you that take the time to sit down and really spend a good long time creating your Christmas gifts. So traditionally, National Leon Day was set aside to remind people it's time to start working on those crafts that you're gonna make by hand to give out to your loved ones for the holiday season. And it's not just Christmas, but as we head into a lot of the other winter holidays that start up around 6 months from now, National Leon Day is that reminder to, hey, get out there, start making your shopping lists, and go ahead and get started on some of those crafts. It's not just the ugly sweaters and things like that people are putting together. I just always found that something that somebody took the time to make by hand for me, whether it was, it could be something as simple as a sock puppet, but it was just so special, that someone gave me a handmade gift, and it said, hey, you were special enough to spend a couple of hours putting this gift together rather than just, swinging by the Macy's counter and going, oh, shoot, that $8 gift box is perfect for Matt. Let me grab that and pull that off the counter.
That handwritten card always means more. Always means more. Even if it's just a signature on it, even if it's just a, hey, happy birthday, I love you, whatever the occasion is. That handwritten note, it shows that you care.
Love that handwritten card. You know when handwritten cards come in real handy is when you show up at the store and there's no more Mother's Day cards left, and the only thing left on the shelf is a birthday card. Great prompt to go and make a card that says, Happy Mother's Day, I love you, Mom, I put myself into this one.
Yeah, just keep reminding me of it. Keep reminding me of it.
Busting your chops a little bit, Engineer Shane. So, anyways, happy National Leon Day. It's not only a day for crafting, it is also a date for to remind those of you that like me, don't necessarily feel as crafty as others out there, and you still do purchase most of your gifts. Now is a good time to start saving for that gift for your favorite radio show host. If you just set aside $10 a day, you could probably have enough to get me something really, really nice for the holidays. That'd be great. So happy National Leon Day, happy Bomb Pop Day, happy Handshake Day, happy Strawberry Parfait Day, and yes, even happy National Catfish Day. Just making sure that you're reminded of what's going on there. We don't want you to miss anything. Speaking of which, I want to remind you of this too. We want to make sure that nobody misses out on any of life's essentials. I have to tell you, I always think of Mr. Rogers, Fred Rogers' mother, who always reminded him during times of national crisis to look for the helpers, and that's something that has always warmed my heart nationwide, but especially here in our valley, to see the way our people step up to help each other, to support each other. And I was so excited to hear how many organizations are actually out there making sure that everyone, but especially our most vulnerable, have what they need to eat. We talked to the children's librarian at the Santa Clarita City Library a little bit earlier this week, and at our city libraries, they are providing lunch for children 18 and under every single day. They're providing lunch as well as breakfast for the following day. So check your local library to see. I believe she said there was 1 or 2 locations in and around the valley that were providing those free lunches every Monday through Friday for our kids 18 years and under. And even though school is out, our schools continue to serve lunches. It's something that we confirmed with the leaders of all of our SCVi and iLEAD school locations. Still handing out lunch and breakfast every morning, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. at SCVi on the west side of the valley, right there off of New Hall Ranch Road. And also on the east side of the valley, iLEAD Agua Dulce they're actually doing it a little bit later. iLEAD Agua Dulce is handing out lunches and breakfasts every Monday through Friday from 10 to 12. And we confirmed with a couple of the local superintendents, the area school districts are still doing a similar thing. They rotate campuses, so make sure that you get on your local school district's website and see which campuses they're serving lunches at every day as well. And you don't have to be enrolled in any of these schools. It doesn't matter if you're enrolled at an iLEAD school, or if you're enrolled at a local district school, or if you're enrolled at a private school, wherever, or, whatever the case may be. Maybe your kids are even not enrolled in school yet. They're too young to have started school. Any child 18 years and younger can get a free lunch and, in many cases, free breakfast at any of these schools. So let's say you attend a local district school, but the closest school to you is SCVi. Pop on in. There's no reason you need to be enrolled at our school. Just pop by and pick up lunch. Same thing for the local district schools. You don't need to be enrolled. Stop by and pick up your lunch. Want to remind you for our adults as well, Santa Clarita Grocery is still taking care of people. Bradley Gross comes in from time to time, and he and his team are doing amazing work at Santa Clarita Grocery. They're right up there by the William S. Hart School District. They're at the center of town. Check them out on Facebook. You do need to call ahead of time, let them know you're coming, but then you swing by with your grocery list, and they will help you stay socially distant. They'll actually do the shopping for you while you hang out in the parking lot and maybe listen to your hometown station, KHTS, on the car radio there, and they'll do your grocery shopping for you, pick up everything you need, bring it out to your car, pop it in the trunk, and send you on your way. The Senior Center is also taking care of our older citizens. Also, very safe, very healthy. They're delivering drive-up meals every Monday through Friday. You swing by, pop the trunk. You don't even have to roll the windows down to get a nice hot meal, delicious meals that Kevin and his team at the Senior Center are serving. If you can't get to them, they can still get to you. They've got the Meals on Wheels delivery system. So if you're a senior who needs any type of help or support, whether it's meals or maybe you need to get in contact with a lawyer, or maybe you need a handyman or anything at all, if you just need somebody to chat with, pick up the phone, call the Senior Center. They would love to hear from you. Their phone number is 661-259-9444, 661-259-9444. So give them a call. They'd love to help you out. They'd love to just hang out and chat with you for a little while. So make sure that you've got everything you need, and yeah, swing by and pick up a bomb pop. Come on. The kids deserve a bomb pop today, don't they? Well, anyways, I'm going to go ahead and put that on my shopping list. We're going to take a quick commercial break, but we will be back in just a minute with our show's official licensed marriage and family therapist, Christina DeBray. You are listening to SCVi Charter School's Eye on the Valley, Homeschooling Answers. I'm Matt Watson on your hometown station, KHTS.
Why did Mercedes-Benz of Valencia win the Dealer of Excellence Award in 2019?
Because we strive to provide the most outstanding sales experience.
Mercedes-Benz of Valencia COO Chris Paz.
We know you have high expectations. Our stellar team will meet and exceed your expectations. That's why we were named Mercedes Best of the Best, placing us in the top 10% of all Mercedes dealers nationwide.
Find out how you can lease a new Mercedes for unbelievably low monthly payments. Details at mbzvalencia.com.
At Jersey Mike's, we make a sub above. Bread baked fresh, veggies served crisp, meat and cheese sliced on the spot. Then comes the juice. Red wine vinegar and olive oil blended to perfection. It's what makes a Jersey Mike's sub a sub to behold. And beholding? Well, we think that works best with two hands. Jersey Mike's, be a sub above.
Your Santa Clarita Jersey Mike's, a proud sponsor of Santa Clarita Sports.
Power Automotive is giving away a free oil change every week. Visit hometownstation.com/power to enter. Open for you during these challenging times. What makes Power Automotive different? They offer a 2-year, 24,000-mile warranty on all their repair services. All makes and models, autos, trucks, diesels, even RVs. On Soledad between Whites Canyon and Sierra Highway. Behind Denny's. Power Automotive will show you why they've been voted Santa Clarita's #1 repair shop for the last 18 years. Visit hometownstation.com/power and you can be this week's winner.
Loss of hearing can affect the quality of life. Santa Clarita Hearing Center can help. They specialize in both preventative hearing loss and corrective measures, including diagnostic tests, new technology hearing aids, cochlear implants, hearing protection, and tinnitus treatment. They can adjust your current hearing aids or fit you for new ones. Santa Clarita Hearing Center also offers sleep molds, swim molds, and musician monitors. Book an appointment today. Log on to SantaClaritaHearingCenter.com, located on McBean Parkway next to the hospital. That's SantaClaritaHearingCenter.com.
Save water and save money. SCV Water wants to help you find your fit and take advantage of conservation rebate programs that will help you save. Water your landscape more efficiently. Replace your lawn with water-wise plants. Conduct free in-home water surveys. Cover your swimming pool and more. Find the programs that fit your needs and start saving today. Visit conserve.yourscvwater.com to learn more.
That's conserve.yourscvwater.com.
Finding the right auto body shop can feel like a never-ending search.
It's more than a job, it's a hobby.
Caesar, owner of Body Shop 661, your one-stop body shop.
Out here in Santa Clarita, I like seeing my cars driving around. It's really a passion.
More than just repairs. Body Shop 661. Trusted, reliable, respected for over 16 years in the Santa Clarita Valley. Visit bodyshop661.com or give them a call. 661-251-2252.
Chiquita Canyon Landfill takes the waste from our homes and local businesses and puts it to good use. With cutting-edge clean energy technology, Chiquita Canyon powers 10,000 homes each year by harnessing the methane gas from the landfill. So, the next time you wheel your trash can to the curb, feel good that your waste is on its way to making green energy at Chiquita Canyon.
Chiquita Canyon Landfill, our partner in sustainable living.
Your hometown station, KHTS.
Welcome back. Oh, Matt, don't sing. Welcome back. You are listening to KHTS. See, that was the part of the beginning of the...
This is about to be a very different show for a minute there.
Alrighty, all you sweat hogs, welcome back in. This is KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM. I am Matt Watson, your host. You are listening to SCVi Charter School's Eye on the Valley Homeschooling Answers. We are joined now by Christina DeBray. She is our show's official licensed marriage and family therapist. She's gotten us through a rough spring, and we are so grateful. Christina has her own incredible story, as a baby, early on in life, diagnosed with a fatal disease, and she just buckled down and said, no, sir, not only am I going to get through this, I am going to get through it and help others get through their own trauma and grief. Christina not only fought cystic fibrosis, but then ended up heading on over to Cal State Northridge in Pepperdine, getting her degrees and setting up her practice right here in Valencia. She has studied extensively things like trauma, phobias, performance enhancement, attachment disorders, suicide prevention, grief, and child and adolescent interventions. And she has worked with people who have been through significant trauma and people who are dealing with some pretty incredible addictions, and Christina's got some therapy treatments that help people work through some of life's most difficult things. She's got more than 18 years of experience speaking, and she works with medical professionals, organizations, patients, schools, and business professionals. Christina, good morning. It's good to have you.
Good morning.
It's good to talk to you again. You were off on Tuesday. I was off yesterday. It's good to have you back. When we last talked, it was way back on Monday, beginning this week, and you and I were talking about the symptoms of trauma. Last Thursday we had that special Finding Closure that helped focus on the kids at Saugus High School, as well as the other area teens working through what might be the delayed effects of trauma that a lot of our kids might start manifesting here as we head into the summertime and they've got a little bit more downtime. It's so important for us and our kids to make sure that we get treatment for our traumas, isn't it? But oftentimes we don't, especially as we're still in a pandemic. People can be a little bit slower to get the treatment that they need for their traumas. So what can happen if we don't get treatment for our trauma, Christina? What can happen if we ignore it and don't treat our traumas?
Well, it's. I think the better question to ask is what can't happen.
Okay.
It really can look so differently. Can look so different for different people, and it can just manifest differently. Some of the more obvious problems to long-term untreated trauma can be substance abuse, substance use, difficulties with intimacy in relationships, difficulties with sexual relationships, inability to maintain healthy relationships or choose appropriate people to be friends or to be in a relationship with, having lots of constant arguments with loved ones, feeling hostile often. You may feel like you are frequently accused of lying when you don't think you've lied. Withdrawing socially, constantly feeling like everything's a threat around you. And we talked about this before, not being able to discern between real and perceived threat, and so everything feels hostile all the time. Self-destructive behaviors. Things can be catastrophic. You can, ruin your finances, ruin your family, ruin your career, lose your license. Let's see, uncontrollable sort of reactions of just something happens and then it's almost like you just lose control of yourself and you go into a fit of rage, or you just do something that you're like, why do I keep doing that over and over again? Either extreme difficulty or inability to make healthy career or lifestyle choices. Dissociative symptoms. So dissociative symptoms are going to be out-of-body experiences, feeling disconnected, feeling like you're in a haze, or things are cloudy. Let's see, feelings of depression, shame, anxiety, hopelessness, feeling ineffective, feeling like I am permanently damaged, feeling like you have, maybe it's difficult to maintain your religious faith or your spiritual faith because you're just feeling so traumatized that it's difficult to connect with the idea of a higher power. And compulsive or neurotic behavioral patterns. So, that these are just some of the ways that it can manifest. And it can really be life-changing and catastrophic. And it can destroy virtually everything.
Yeah, gosh. So if I'm thinking, I've been through trauma, but it's not so bad. I can handle it. Gosh, these ancillary effects alone are enough to make you want to get treatment. So if you are struggling, and even if you think, I think I can handle it, pick up the phone, reach out to your healthcare provider, make sure that you get the care you need. You would never say, "Oh, my arm's not that broken, I can handle it." You'd get to a doctor and get the care you need. So make sure you're doing the same for your mental health care needs. Call your healthcare provider or call Christina directly. She's got some amazingly innovative ways to help you work through your trauma and your other issues. Her phone number is 661-513-4857, 661-513-4857. You can also find her at ChristinaDebre.com. That's Christina with a K, Debree. We're posting that on Facebook Live right now. I also want to remind you that you can find that special podcast, Finding Closure, and helping our kids get through the trauma that they've been this year, on the Hometown Station website, hometownstation.com. Christina, thanks so much for your help. We look forward to talking to you again next week. We do need to check some local and national news stories and get the latest updates right now, but stick around. We will be back. You're listening to SCVi Charter School's Eye on the Valley, homeschooling answers on your hometown station, KHTS.
Coronavirus has put us in a position of creating a new normal. Family Law at Home understands. Their goal is to meet you in the safest place possible, and these days that might be in your own home in a virtual meeting. Family Law at Home will provide you with immediate advice on your family law matters, such as divorce cases, child custody disputes, and domestic violence. It's as easy as going to FamilyLawAtHome.com. You'll choose your own consultation date and be in immediate contact with one of their esteemed attorneys. Family Law at Home handles the legal aspect while you and your family navigate the new chapter in your lives. Go to FamilyLawAtHome.com.
Your building sign is essential to getting customers to your location. Feathers can help you get your business noticed. Feathers, now in a new, larger space with plenty of parking. They walk you through each phase of your project with special attention to detail and quality. Feathers will provide you with a sign that you can be proud of. Your sign will draw customers in instead of having them drive by. Visit Feathers online at feathersigns.com or go to Feathers' brand new, bigger location at 26017 Huntington Drive off Rye Canyon or call 298-9442.
You just had an accident. You're okay, but worried your car will never look the same. Your vehicle may be the second biggest investment you'll ever make. Give it the care it deserves at Body Shop 661.
Hi, this is Caesar from Body Shop 661. If you had an accident, you get to choose the auto body facility you want. Our full collision repair center works with all vehicles, foreign and domestic, and we handle all insurance companies.
Body Shop 661 off Ruther behind Home Depot.
The best live theater can be found right here in the Santa Clarita Valley. The Canyon Theater Guild has been entertaining audiences for decades with top quality musicals and plays. Located on Main Street in Old Town Newhall, CTG also offers workshops for the young actor in your family. For more information, call the box office at 799-2702 or go online to canyontheater.org.
KHTS AM 1220 and 98.1 FM Santa Clarita. It's 10 o'clock. Time for national news on KHTS.
The president's not backing down. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. President Trump still insisting in a new tweet that the number of coronavirus cases goes up because of great testing, even as a surge continues to record levels of new cases in some areas, with the percentage of positive cases rising. The Republican governor of Texas, one of the first to begin easing pandemic restrictions, is now pausing the state's reopening, especially concerned about a spike in hospitalizations. A surge in more than 20 states raising concern about an economic recovery. White House advisor Larry Kudlow remains optimistic.
Housing demand is very strong. Traveling with the Apple Mobility Index is very strong. New business applications very strong. Actually, business opening now, small business, almost 80% have reopened one way or another.
But first-time claims for unemployment benefits remain over 1 million, receding very slowly from their peak in March. More than $1 billion worth of the government's coronavirus relief checks went to dead people. An audit by a government watchdog finds more than 1 million checks went to deceased taxpayers, mainly because of a lag in reporting data on who's dead. The IRS asking for money back from surviving family members. The head of the World Health Organization says there's no evidence that the virus started to spread before China reported it. Also saying a short time ago, the measures taken in Wuhan, where the outbreak started, were very strong. But Secretary of State Mike Pompeo accusing China again of a cover-up in Wuhan, and he suggests a growing number of countries are concerned about China's policies.
We have to work together to continue the transatlantic awakening to the China challenge in the interest of preserving our free societies, our prosperity, and our future.
Pompeo calls Beijing a threat and accuses it of robbing European know-how to develop its economy, echoing long-standing accusations of intellectual property theft from U.S. firms. America is listening to Fox News.
How much money would you like to save just by doing something you're already doing? 15 or 25%? How about 30%? Here in California, Allstate safe drivers can save 30% just by doing something they're already doing. Driving safe. That's right, 30% just by driving safe. Allstate can help lower your cost of driving. Safe drivers can save 30% or more. Visit allstate.com or call a local agent for a quote today.
Subject to terms, conditions, and availability. Savings vary.
We're all in uncharted territory, looking for ways to support our communities. At Dell Technologies, we're making sure small businesses have the right tech solutions. Dell Technologies advisors are here for you, from helping small businesses stay connected and productive while working remotely with Windows 10 and Microsoft Teams, to rapidly deploying remote work solutions that limit upfront costs with Dell Financial Services. We're standing by you every step of the way. Call 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL.
The House set to vote later today on what's now known as the George Floyd Justice and Policing Act. House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jerry Nadler.
Today I join with millions of Americans across this country in saying enough is enough. I'm proud to join my colleagues in delivering on the promise that so many of us have made, that real change is on the way.
But Republicans say Democrats are playing politics after blocking a Senate Republican reform measure billed as a starting point for bipartisan negotiations.
Senator Scott offered a wide-open bipartisan amendment process, and they walked away. Over in the House, when Democrats shoot down every Republican amendment in committee and allow 0 amendments on the floor, you can bet it'll be anointed a big, big success.
But Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell has been criticized by Democrats for not holding bipartisan talks before the bill was proposed. President Trump and the First Lady visiting the Korean War Memorial a short time ago, marking 70 years since the war started, with little sign of any peace treaty possible today.
89-year-old Korean War veteran Kim Yeong-ho attending a ceremony in South Korea, saying the war isn't really over and I don't think peace will come while I'm still alive. 70 years after the Korean War began, the US and South Korea committing to strengthening their alliance. North Korea saying it will continue to build up its strength to overwhelm American threats. The war is technically still ongoing, and the remains of 5,000 American service members are still missing. Simon Owen, Fox News.
Wall Street's mixed up after yesterday's pandemic-driven plunge. No big swings so far today, but the Dow's been fluctuating between positive and negative. I'm Lisa Brady, and this is Fox News.
Thanks for listening to KHTS AM 1220, Canyon Country, California. K260CO 98.1 FM, Santa Clarita, California.
At iLEAD Agua Dulce, we believe the most important thing a child can learn in school is who they are. Life's real tests are never standardized, which is why we've developed an individual-based curriculum that values exploration, cooperation, and creativity. As our learners grow, so do we. Our tuition-free charter school is currently enrolling grades TK through 7th and adding 8th grade in 2020. Your young learner will be immersed in a unique environment where possibility and self-discovery are at the core of every experience. The Agua Dulce campus features beautiful indoor and outdoor spaces for hands-on inspiration, including a robotics lab, a garden bed, a greenhouse, and a technology-based exploratorium. iLEAD Agua Dulce is conveniently located on the east side of the Santa Clarita Valley, just off the 14 freeway. Check out our homeschool options too. To schedule a campus tour or learn more about our programs, visit iLEADAguadulce.org. We're enrolling now. iLEAD Schools. Free to think, inspired to lead.
This is Bradley Gross from Santa Clarita Grocery. Santa Clarita Grocery serves fresh groceries to families, individuals, and those experiencing homelessness. At Santa Clarita Grocery, out of every dollar donated, a full 99 cents goes directly to the needs being addressed. As an all-volunteer-led organization, we operate on a 1% overhead, receiving no government funding for our operations in the community, resulting in us being one of the most efficient charities in the Santa Clarita Valley. If you're looking to support the good for our community, please consider partnering with us by donating to Santa Clarita Grocery. What is donated is specifically kept in the Santa Clarita Valley, helping over 3,000 families, including 5 other community charities. Please visit our website, santaclaritagrocery.org, or visit us on social media or call us at 425-7575. That's 425-7575.
Finding the right auto body shop can feel like a never-ending search.
It's more than a job, it's a hobby.
Caesar, owner of Body Shop 661, your one-stop body shop.
Out here in Santa Clarita, I like seeing my cars driving around. It's really a passion.
More than just repairs. Body Shop 661. Trusted, reliable, respected for over 16 years in the Santa Clarita Valley. Visit bodyshop661.com or give them a call, 661-251-2252.
Finding the right lawyer can be a challenge, but in Santa Clarita, there's no need to search when there's Hacker Law Group, Santa Clarita's premier litigation firm. Jeffrey Hacker has represented celebrities, financial institutions, accident victims, real estate developers, realtors, contractors, businesses, nonprofit organizations, and other individuals and companies with their legal challenges. Mr. Hacker is one of Santa Clarita's leaders, consistently listed as one of our most influential. When everything is on the line and you need legal counseling, visit hackerlawgroup.com.
Dreaming of becoming the next Steph Curry or Klay Thompson, or maybe just you want your kid to look good and have fun on the court? Introducing the Shotmaster. The Shotmaster is a revolutionary basketball training aid that isolates the shooting pocket, allows you to develop that consistent shot. Shotmaster will improve your shooting efficiency, accuracy, and shooting percentages dramatically. It's the ultimate training device. There's nothing like it. Visit shotmaster.net and discover for yourself how Shotmaster will become your game changer. Shotmaster.net.
Hey there, it's Tori with your hometown station. Weather, beautiful day today. Sunny skies, highs in the low 90s. For anything and everything Santa Clarita Valley related, go to hometownstation.com or check us out on Facebook at KHTS Radio.
98.1 FM and AM 1220.
The following is sponsored programming and does not necessarily reflect the views or opinions of KHTS or its ownership.
Welcome back. You're listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 AM.
That one didn't feel right. We didn't come in at the same point in the music. I didn't like that one. I just want to apologize. Next time we'll do better.
Should we start again?
Too late.
Okay.
Just got to keep myself accountable, you know? We're here to put on the best show possible, so got to call myself out every now and then.
All right, perfect. This is Matt Watson and engineer Shane Kutchell. I am your host. You're listening to SCVi's Eye on the Valley, Homeschooling Answers. And happy National Bomb Pop Day, everybody. You know what? If you've got an extra minute or so, why don't you swing by the store, pick up a box of Bomb Pops. You know, they're conveniently sold in packages of 8. Gosh, I really should be getting paid by Bomb Pop today. But yeah, celebrate Bomb Pop Day. Pick up some Bomb Pops for the kids. They deserve it, don't they? They've been through a long quarantine, and you know who else has been? Your significant other, your spouse has been through a long, difficult pandemic, and so have you. So swing by, pick some up. A great nostalgic treat for you and your spouse. Oh.
I'm going to tag them in the video just so they know. They'll watch this back later, and then maybe you can get that advertisement. So
hey!
We'll help you out.
Try to get some retroactive sponsorship. Fantastic. You just send me some swag. I want a hat and a jersey. I'm sure they've got Bomb Pop jerseys, like the BMX jerseys. That'd be cool. I'm going to swing by and get me a Bomb Pop on the way home from the studio today. Anyways, you may know that I am a member of iLEAD School's Maker Team, and when our campuses are open, a big part of my job is leading VIP tours of our organization, and one of my favorite stops is always Empower Generations. This vibrant campus is always so inspiring, and my next guest is the leader that directs that incredible school. Malika Donovan has worked in education for over 20 years, teaching preschool, high school, and almost every grade level in between. She spent 5 years in Arizona as a master teacher for a K-8 startup charter school, becoming a pioneer in the project-based learning world. During her time there, she received a local award for Teacher of the Week and was recommended for Disney's Teacher of the Year. She joined the iLEAD Schools team in 2010 as a classroom facilitator, and today, Malika leads Empower Generations. That's iLEAD's Center for Pregnant and Parenting Teens, where she's become a pioneer in the area of competency-based education. She lives here in the Santa Clarita Valley with her amazing husband, Kyle, her 4 children, a brood of chickens, horses, ostriches, and what? Malika, what am I missing? What else am I missing that's there on the farm?
Well, you could swap the ostrich for an alpaca because alpacas are cooler than ostriches, I think.
Why was I thinking ostriches?
I don't know, the long neck maybe.
Could be. So you've got an alpaca out there. That's fantastic. You know, today is National Leon Day, which reminds us to get started on some of those longer crafts for the holiday season. You know, I love me a good alpaca sweater.
If you want to come shave him, that would be great because we haven't figured yet how to share our alpaca.
Okay. As long as he promises not to spit at me.
Nope, can't promise that. He's a spitter.
Alrighty. Malika, let's get into talking about Empower Generations. First of all, let's talk about kind of who you guys are and what your unique mission is. What do you guys do at Empower Generations? Why was your school opened in the first place? What's kind of your mission and model?
Sure. So, a beautiful soul by the name of Allison Bravo had a vision for servicing pregnant and parenting teens in the Antelope Valley about 45 years ago. And so she opened up a charter to do just that. And it has grown over the years, starting with just 2 to 3 learners and then growing to 50, 60 learners. And so what we do is we provide a space for high schoolers to come. They're encouraged to bring their babies. We call them empowered babies. and we have a space for them to play while their moms or dads engages in some of our cool projects and activities and workshops and works towards earning their diploma.
That is fantastic. So I know oftentimes, you know, it's not our official policy, but I have actually heard educators, and we're not talking about maybe a third or fourth year teacher who really doesn't understand all the different options. We're talking about higher up people who have said, you know, our unofficial policy is we have continuation school and then they drop out. Which just breaks my heart to hear. You guys are providing a viable model for teens and young adults who have a baby or may be pregnant or are experiencing significant trauma in their lives. We talked about trauma last break with Christina. To get back, get reconnected, get their high school degree, and many of them move on to a post-secondary degree, heading to college, things like that. So can you tell us what makes EG, as we affectionately call it, Empower Generations, EG, what makes you guys so unique? What do you do differently for our learners?
So, well, first I'd like to say I heard this from a learner once, and it's really stuck with me. Yes, there's a lot of times that pregnant parenting teens are directed indirectly to a new place when they have babies. We look at it as you still have the same goal. We're just going to alter your plan and get you to the same goal, which is not just getting a diploma, but also, you know, what is your path post-graduation? That's where the word empowerment comes from. How are we empowering them to take their next steps successfully? And so when we look at the model of our school, we're not a traditional seat-based, time-based setting. We are flexible with our kids. We meet them where they're at. We look at credit recovery. We do personalized projects. We are also big fans of the Antelope Valley community, so we like to partner with them. We do service learning projects and internships, and we're in the process of really strengthening our career and technology part for next year, so that those that don't choose college will have a solid job when they graduate. And when you speak about the competencies, so we're really looking at learning in a way that matters for kids. So let's look at financial literacy. Let's look at civic responsibility. Let's look at engineering and design. Let's look at things that are fun and cool for our kids.
And when you say let's look at, you guys aren't just kind of giving them a cursory look. You guys are building those core competencies into the projects that your learners develop in very meaningful ways, so that your learners develop, again, strong competency in those areas.
Correct. So one of our learners did a whole pediatric project, and she dove deeply into what a pediatric visit looks like for her and her son. And she studied each of the instruments that are used, why they're used, some of the laws that are out there. And so by the end, she had a better understanding of her pediatric visits with her son than before. She was just kind of she just received what they were saying and didn't really have any questions to ask, or was understanding what was going on. So she felt more empowered to ask questions when she didn't understand during the doctor visits.
That is beautiful. And yeah, you guys don't just use that word empowered as a way to refer to the name of your school. It's from those early days when you mentioned Allison Bravo, our founder, when she first got started, before they ever had a single class on there, the learners came already empowered. One of my favorite stories from those early days is I think we had a total of 4, maybe 5 or 6 learners enrolled, and Allison was talking to somebody new coming in to check it out, and this young lady asked, "Do y'all have a prom? You're gonna have a prom, right?" And now I'm looking at Allison's face. She's got 4 kids enrolled in a high school that has 4 grades in it, and she's thinking to herself, prom? I don't even know that we're going to have a school yet. And this young lady said, "I'm not coming to your school unless you have a prom." And so Allison empowered her immediately and said, "Congratulations, you are now the chair of the prom committee." And since that first year, we've had a prom. You guys, all based on the empowerment of our learners. You guys have a basketball team, a cheerleading team, a green club, literally dozens of clubs, an entrepreneurs club, all different kinds of fun and exciting things for your kids going on out there. kind of designed by them, right?
Yeah, so we asked them, well, we do some surveys, some passion surveys, some personality surveys. We really want to get to know who they are so that the learning is personalized. And not everyone comes, with a passion. Even adults don't always know what their passions are, so that sometimes takes some time. But once they do, that's it. Let's run with it. What do you love to do? And we'll help you create a high school education out of it. And if it's clubs, it's club. It's sports. If it's makeup, if it's music, we can make it work.
That is so important. It's something that I always raised my kids telling them, and it's because I heard it from really someone who was a sage and a mentor in my life, Doug Worley. He was one of my teachers out at Saugus High School, and he said, if you can find what you're passionate about in life, then you will be happy your entire life long. And then if you can find somebody to pay you to do that, then you will be truly blessed. And that's the way I raised my kids, and that's what you guys are doing out there. Now, we were all dealt quite a hiccup earlier this spring. This pandemic really did a number on all of us. How did your staff and your learners do at Empower Generations? How did everything go with distance learning and all the shifts that we had to make in regards to the pandemic?
So definitely it was an adjustment for all of us. We already honor a hybrid model, so we had online learning available for our kids since they don't all have to come to campus every day. So that shift was okay. It's really the relationship piece that we had to adjust and pivot and adapt with our staff. Our learners thrive on connections and safe spaces, and so our staff had to be really cognizant about reaching out to them in all capacities, emails, texts, phone calls, social media, and we even did some home visits for some kids. And I think through it all, we're probably all zoomed out at this point, but at the same time, the screen-to-screen conversations, I think, saved a lot of them. It might not be, passing each other in the hall or stopping in to say hello or, really seeing someone's face when they walk through the doors in the morning, but if we think about even 10 years ago, if this would have happened, not to have the screen-to-screen time, this would have looked a lot different for our families. And so even though I am zoomed out and they are too, I'm grateful that we had the opportunity to connect that way.
Yeah, it's interesting. Oftentimes we draw the comparison between the coronavirus pandemic and the Spanish flu from 100 years ago, and I just wonder if we had the technology back then that we do today, how many thousands of lives would have been saved if only we had Zoom. You're right, it's not the same, but it's great that you guys were able to take advantage of that. I know how close your staff is to your learners, and to see them reaching out like that, it's beautiful, but it absolutely does not surprise me. Now, speaking of the pandemic, the Rona really robbed our seniors this year. How did you guys handle graduation and other milestone events for your seniors?
The Rona, that's funny. We really worked on more about shifting the lens, because, yes, I know it felt like they were being robbed of their senior experience, but we tried to shift it more that you get to redefine the experience. And so it took some time, a lot of senior meetings, like what are we going to do together to make a way that's cool enough for you, and then on our end that we're making sure you feel special and that you feel celebrated. So with a lot of collaboration with them, we came up with a drive-in graduation ceremony. And what that looked like was a drive-in theater. They all had cars lined up, just like if you were at the drive-in. And the family stayed in the cars. And when we called them up, the learners got to come out of their cars and still come across stage. We had a few speeches. We had confetti and music and signs and honking horns and even a Kona ice truck that came by. And really, our little ones still got to cross the stage. That's always special when they have the little cap and gown on. And I think in the end, they felt celebrated and special, and that was the goal. And they got their photos and their diplomas, and I think it worked out okay.
I love that. Again, you empowered them, gave them a voice, and honored them to redefine the experience. I love that. It's it's a mind shift rather than just, oh, this is terrible, this is awful. Now, I hear that next year you guys are launching a cool new arts program. Can you tell us a little bit about that program?
Yes, super excited. So we received a grant, and we get to work with some amazing people at Everyday Arts. We are currently in the planning stages of developing this art program, but the way that we're going to do it a little bit different is we're going to include the learners in the planning and developing stages of this program. They get to work alongside each other. And so we came up with that because things are looking different. We know that through the arts, people can heal, there's transformation, and so their voice is just as important as we develop this program, if not more important. And so they get to be part of this planning committee. The first semester will be just that, a co-planning phase, and then the second semester will be our production phase. When we come back in August, we will have to see where the COVID world is, and we'll figure out the best way to engage with the learners, but they too get to be a part of that. And my favorite part is we're going to include our powered babies, see how we can trickle down and do some movement with them or some art with them, and then that helps strengthen the parent-child bond. Yeah, I'm super excited. I think the biggest part for me, I know there's a lot of budget cuts happening right now, and some districts, unfortunately, are having to cut out the arts, but vice versa for us, we're going to include it more. Our kids need this to be able to process what's been going on, and we know that it's the arts where they thrive, and so I'm excited that we get to include it instead of exclude it, and I hope that it's a program we can continue on after this year.
That is beautiful, and you're right. The arts are so incredibly important. They have an effect on so many other areas of our life. I love hearing that you guys are able to grow in an area, like you said, where traditionally our public schools do cut back, and you're not only able to provide this amazing artistic experience to your learners, but also to their babies. That is so awesome. Malika, I know that you are busy with your team and making plans for next year and this incredible arts program, but please make sure that you take some time to sharpen your saw. Those chickens need you. Thanks for stopping by. We appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Matt.
Of course, you take care. We're going to take a quick commercial break, but stick around. We will be right back. And for more information on how that Rona is affecting our valley, go to hometownstation.com and click on that red banner. You're going to find tips on the economy there, health updates, and any special business hours that are still in effect. You are listening to SCVi Charter School's Eye on the Valley, Homeschooling Answers. I am Matt Watson on your hometown station, KHTS.
And now, a cooking tip from Keith Mowry of Bob's Country Meats. Cooking brisket is simple, whether you do it in the oven or on the grill.
Okay, briskets come out nice. You want to brown them up real good on the barbecue over medium heat. Season them up however you like. Wrap them in foil. Put them on the other side, go down to a low temperature, low heat, and let that go for about 2.5, 3 hours, just on the low with the lid closed.
For the tastiest brisket in town, visit Bob's Country Meats on Soledad in Canyon Country.
Finding the right lawyer can be a challenge, but in Santa Clarita, there's no need to search when there's Hacker Law Group, Santa Clarita's premier litigation firm. Jeffrey Hacker has represented celebrities, financial institutions, accident victims, real estate developers, realtors, contractors, businesses, nonprofit organizations, and other individuals and companies with their legal challenges. Mr. Hacker is one of Santa Clarita's leaders, consistently listed as one of our most influential. When everything is on the line and you need legal counseling, visit hackerlawgroup.com.
Finding the right auto body shop can feel like a never-ending search.
It's more than a job, it's a hobby.
Caesar, owner of Body Shop 661, your one-stop body shop.
Out here in Santa Clarita, I like seeing my cars driving around. It's really a passion.
More than just repairs. Body Shop 661. Trusted, reliable, respected for over 16 years in the Santa Clarita Valley. Visit bodyshop661.com or give them a call, 661-251-2252.
CBC Cleaning and Restoration is ready and waiting to clean and disinfect your home or business during these trying times. CBC is certified, OSHA trained, and insured for COVID-19. They are now offering 10% off services plus free disinfection application through June 30th. All staff wears full-on PPE, and all equipment is disinfected before and after every job. Have CBC clean your carpets, upholstery, and hard surface flooring. Voted best commercial and residential cleaning company in the Santa Clarita Valley year after year. To take advantage of the COVID-19 special or more information, call CBC at 294-2221. That's 294-2221.
We all know sometimes people lose their way. If you or someone you know is struggling with addiction, the Way Out Recovery SCV may have the answers you've been waiting for. The Way Out is the premier intensive outpatient treatment center serving Santa Clarita. Asking for help is the first step. Call The Way Out today, 661-296-4444. That's 296-4444 for a private free assessment. The Way Out is an accredited, affordable outpatient program that accepts most insurance. Call us at 661-296-4444 or check us out online at thewayoutrrecoveryscv.com. Quit battling with yourself. Ask The Way Out for help today.
Hi, I'm Miles McNamara, Certified Senior Advisor and owner of Comfort Keepers in Home Care. Our caregivers help you in your own home. A Comfort Keeper can provide companionship, meal preparation, medication monitoring, assistance with personal care, transportation to doctor appointments, all enhancing your independence and safety in the comfort and privacy of your own home. So if you or someone you love could use a helping hand at home, call Comfort Keepers at 287-4200. That's 287-4200.
The best live theater can be found right here in the Santa Clarita Valley. The Canyon Theater Guild has been entertaining audiences for decades with top quality musicals and plays. Located on Main Street in Old Town Newhall, CTG also offers workshops for the young actor in your family. For more information, call the box office at 799-2702 or go online to canyontheater.org.
Your hometown station.
KHTS is the only station I listen to.
98.1 FM and AM 1220.
Welcome back. You're listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 on the AM side. This is Eye on the Valley, Homeschooling Answers. I am your host, Matt Watson. I feel like we need to take a little time to check in on the sports world. I know, you're probably wondering what sports. It amazes me how much sports is going on without any sports going on. We've got the 4th of July weekend coming up, and if you're not a big sports person, don't turn us off. You're going to want to take some notes here, as a matter of fact, so that you can keep up with the conversation around the barbecue at that 4th of July celebration. And if you are a big sports fan, why don't you, here, let me pull up my stool and so I can check on it. If you are a big sports fan, why don't you just head on over to that Facebook Live chat and chime in. Let us know what you think about the different sports, where they're at, what they're doing, and what it's going to take to get us back.
And that Facebook Live chat is something that we do monitor, so not even sports related. If you ever have a question, especially when we have the mayor on, we're always checking that out. So, you can chime into whatever conversation we're having.
Absolutely. In fact, it looks like Corey and Jason just jumped on because they want to chop it up with us a little bit. So, Shane, you ready to do this?
Let's do it.
Where do you want to start? What should we start with? You want to start with the NFL?
We could start with the NFL. I say I've got plenty of complaints about baseball, but we could save those for later.
We'll get to baseball. We'll warm up to that one. The NFL is actually really interesting. NFL and college football. It seems like an interesting exposure dichotomy because the NFL, they've got larger rosters, and you've got guys jumping on top of each other, sweating on each other, and bleeding on each other. I was talking to my son about it. He says, "But Dad, there's already players that are wearing the full face shield, so it should be okay, right?" But you think about the exchange of sweat while they're tackling each other, things like that. But the NFL says we're going to start on time and we're going to play a full season, right? Now they've already announced that they're gonna skip the Hall of Fame Bowl, but they think they're going to play a full season. They're not going to limit it to any one or two cities like a couple of the other sports that we're going to get into. So it is kind of an interesting dichotomy. I did hear an anonymous player mention the other day, it's kind of funny because we have we're going to have our video sessions, where we're in there analyzing video, and we're going to sit 10 feet apart from each other, so that we don't expose each other. But then those same people are going to be out on the field together, face to face, nose to nose for the 2 hours after that. So I thought that was interesting.
It's going to be hard to iron out some of these details for the leagues. You and I mentioned, we talked specifically about baseball, but this is going to apply to all of these leagues. There's so much gray area in terms of how we're going to approach the seriousness of the virus.
Yeah.
It is something that I've talked about with my friends, and I approach from the standpoint of this has been labeled a pandemic, and the United States is currently the most infected country in the world right now.
Yeah.
We have spiking cases in our 3 most populous states, and 2 of those happen to be the states that were the most popular bubble states that these sports were sort of eyeballing to sort of set up their own little magical sports world and have their seasons out. So regardless, football does have a lot of contact. There's a lot of people tackling each other, a lot of sweat going on, so it's going to be hard to limit some of those things in. But that also applies to the NBA. Whenever there's a timeout called, is everybody going to put on a mask? If there's no crowd noise pumped into the stadium, does everybody have to stand 6 feet apart with a mask on, and then the opposing team can just listen into all the tactics that's being essentially shouted out to the players 6 feet away, just right across, on the bench? So.
Well, even with thousands of fans, you talk about basketball and the bubble and things like that. Even with thousands of fans in the arena during a timeout, teams huddle in real tight so that the other team can't hear what they're talking about. I can't imagine with no fans in the stands that you could get close enough to where you could have a team conversation without the other team hearing. So I don't know. Maybe they're going to bring down like the old. Here's another old TV reference for you, Shane. The old Get Smart cone of silence. Maybe they can do that over the team huddles. But yeah, you talked about the bubble. The NBA basketball, they're going to head into what's called the bubble, and I think this is so funny. They decided to go to Florida because Florida was opening up and inviting faster than just about anybody. It's one of those states though where corona cases are skyrocketing, and once the sport making the most movement. Basketball was, we're getting back. We're going to have this championship, and they're set to tip off July 31st. Now they could be on the verge of canceling the rest of the season as people are starting to stress out about that spike.
Shout out to Yahoo Sports. I got an excellent little notification blip that came across with the headline that read, Florida man dunks on NBA. And it was in regards to the concern for the Florida governor not doing enough to curtail the spiking coronavirus cases that may prevent the NBA from ever restarting their season, because that's where they want to have the bubble. So a very clever headline, but a very real problem that the NBA and all these other sports are going to have.
Right, and the idea of this bubble is the most simple idea in the world, the most complicated one to execute, though. Just get all of the teams. Now, they're not going to take all the teams. I think it's, 20 teams? They're
I believe for the NBA specifically, it'll be a 22-team plan. 22. That way it gives 22-team plan. That way it gives teams that were on the bubble or close to making the playoffs an opportunity to win in. The window for that to happen is very small, but that's not what we're talking about.
Right. So you're going to get all these teams, and they're going to send them out to the Disney Resort in Orlando, Florida, and simple enough. You just put them in a bubble. You make sure that nobody has a case of corona, if you will, pun intended. And then you can play the entirety of the rest of your season. They're going to play 8 games and then head into the playoffs. Problem is, and it's something that somebody brought up early on, is, okay, so they're all going to stay in hotels and then they're all going to play their games there. But what about the people that are going to be involved in that care, the hotel workers, the restaurant workers, things like that? Are you going to require all of them to stay in the bubble? The answer, of course, is no. And now you've got hotel workers heading outside the bubble after they get off work into the state where cases, like I said, are skyrocketing, and then coming back into that bubble. And there's all different kinds of issues. There was a player from the Lakers who already mentioned, sorry, my son has a respiratory condition. I'm not playing.
That would be Avery Bradley. Avery Bradley for the Lakers, who obviously gone in waves in terms of his performance, but still a very important player to the Lakers championship run, and he's already opted out. There's not really an option for him. So the exposure in the high level or high amount of cases states is going to be hard to limit. There's also players in every sport. We haven't even heard, baseball has a plan in place, but we don't even know if everybody's going to show up, everybody's going to comply. So, like you said, the staff workers that aren't even in these leagues are going to be people that have to be potentially monitored, at the very least, a temperature check, and those are some of those logistics that we mentioned that it looks great on paper. You just put a bubble in. Nobody goes in, nobody goes out, the virus stays out, and the players are in, and that everything goes well. But there are so many variables that could potentially go wrong that it could tailspin quickly, and we might not be able to manage it.
And I think it's kind of that idea of, trying to slide across the lake fast enough and in the shortest distance so that you can just glide right across. I think basketball is thinking we've got 8 regular season games, then we've got our playoffs. After those 8 regular season games, several of those teams are going home, and then we're going to eliminate a team every round of the playoffs. So I think they're thinking they can get through this quickly enough that they can complete it.
The ice might be breaking behind us, but the other side is getting closer and closer. So, hey, we just might make it.
Oh, how anticlimactic would it be to get through 2 rounds of the playoffs and have to shut it down?
And that's something that we mentioned before, is some leagues might face scrutiny for not being able to successfully pull this off. Some leagues might be looking at this as a lose-lose scenario where if they are able to restart, what are the negative ramifications of if they aren't able to complete their season? Let's say, the NBA is single-handedly responsible for infecting 85% of all players that return. Obviously the worst-case scenario, but if that happens, what does the NBA do? Turn around and say, well, you guys wanted sports. We were just trying to get out. Then, the NBA might have to turn around and accept all of the fault for exposing their players to this. And regardless of the symptoms felt, or let's say there's 0 fatalities, nobody really has any adverse side effects.
85% are all asymptomatic?
85% is asymptomatic and is recovered in a matter of 2 weeks. Nonetheless, there's 2 weeks where the NBA has to look at the general public and say, yeah, this kind of happened on our watch. So there's a lot of ramifications for these companies where, the ideal picture is extremely ideal. And I hate to be a negative Nancy. I want my sports. I've watched timeless Dodgers games so many times, and I miss it so badly. But there's so many gray areas that we sort of have to tread lightly. I want it back, but we got to pump the brakes a little,
Yeah, and you think about that worst case scenario from a sports fan's point of view of not having any sports at all this year, but that's it may be what we need to do. Basketball, like I said, it's short. They've got a sprint basically. The baseball season is, well, normally it's about 6 months long. That is the marathon of all marathons. And baseball, we haven't even started the season yet. Now, I know they're abbreviating it and getting down to, what about 38% of the regular season?
We got 60 games. That's the agreed upon total. So
was it agreed upon, or?
It is agreed upon. I'll double check. But it is apparently the first. I know, right?
Well, I think it's 60 games, but the owners and the players went back and forth rejecting each other's offers.
I was just about to say, we heard the word rejection and disagree for weeks that I know it's hard to believe that something was agreed upon, but yes, this one was circulated as the agreed upon 60-game plan, a universal DH, and a few other kinks to the season. So it's going to be unlike anything we've seen.
Yeah, you're right, and I think it is. It does need to be innovative. The different rules that they're rolling in. I just got so frustrated with the owners and the players going back and forth, and I even talked about it here on Eye on the Valley a few weeks ago about how maybe it is a little bit more about health and not so much about money. But when the owners and players came back and the way they negotiated, they made it blatantly obvious. No, it's about only the money. It's not about our health. It's not about our fans. It's not about tradition. It's about money, and that's it. But they did. Well, I don't know if they agreed so much as the commissioner just finally stepped in and said, all right, both of you go to your rooms. in the end of July, you're going to come back out of your rooms. You're going to, well, not shake hands, but bump elbows, and we're going to play 60 games. He kind of had to take that heavy-handed stance with him. So baseball, yeah, it looks like they are going to be starting up July 23rd with both leagues, the American League and National League, using a designated hitter. For those of you who aren't as familiar with the rules of baseball, that's a rule in the American League, half of baseball, where the pitchers only pitch. They don't ever hit. They have someone who hits for them, usually a big heavy hitter, a guy who's not as athletic in the field, hits. Well, the National League never adopted that, and it's always been a little bit more traditional in its stance. Well, both leagues are going to be adopting that this year. They're going to use international extra innings rules, where they're going to start extra innings if they go beyond the typical 9 innings. The 10th inning starts with a runner on second base.
And that is significantly different, hugely different. Before the game continues on, the game continues as it normally is. And sometimes that can lead to 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. We've seen those games that go on forever. So this will be an interesting mechanic to see if it impacts the ability for, let's say, a lesser matched team to win in those extra inning scenarios, or if it is just a positive impact on the game overall. It speeds everything up, and there's no real impact on competitiveness or the ability for one team to win versus another.
Now, what's going to be interesting, now again, we have to get past the whole idea of, okay, can you really play a 60-game season and then go into the playoffs and not have it interrupted? Let's just look past that, right? Let's look past that. And producer Sarah, she's a traditionalist. She's a baseball traditionalist. She's freaking out right now to find out that the National League's going to be using a designated hitter. It's, desperate times, producer Sarah, desperate times. But kind of lost my track of thought there. But so baseball is going to come back. They're going to, there it is. They're going to play 60 games, which means it's not that sprint. The 162 game traditional typical season for baseball has a way of weeding out those teams that never were going to compete. You have teams going into a season knowing that they're not going to make it through 162 games and make it to the playoffs. But now you've got teams like the Padres thinking we might be able to sneak into the playoffs this year.
Well, if you look at the starts, looking at the 2019 season, if you look at the start the Washington Nationals had to their World Series winning year,
yes,
I can't remember the exact record, but they through the first 52 games, they were something like 13-39. It was an abysmal record through their first 50 games, and they turned around and they won the entire World Series. And me being a Mariners fan, just the flip side of that, the Mariners started 13-2 in the 2019 season, and we were freaking out. It was awesome, and then we just did awfully. So that 160 game season really puts it tells the tale of the team that's within, and a 60 game season really changes the dynamic, because baseball can be very streaky. The team can win 40 games straight and then lose the next 120 till the rest of the season is over. And
you're absolutely right. If we look back on last season, if we'd have had a 60 game season last season, the eventual national champions, the Washington Nationals, they would have not made the playoffs.
Not even the playoffs.
They would have been one of the worst teams in the league.
So real quick, we do have just under 2 minutes before we got to take a break, Matt. But we've done good sports talk. I want to keep it general one more time and zoom out to the NBA. Vince Carter retired today.
Yeah.
I know we're talking about baseball, but if we're talking sports, we got to give him a proper send-off here. Vince Carter is retired after 22 years in the NBA. Changed his game, changed his personality, went from dunking on everybody to, just going out, giving you a solid 15 minutes, but getting you an easy 10 points. And the entire time, smile on his face, and always a pleasure to see him.
Great player. A couple of interesting facts about Vince Carter. I believe he was one of only 3 players to ever lead the league in all-star votes 3 years in a row.
Yeah.
3 years in a row, he led the league in all-star votes. I believe LeBron James and Michael Jordan were the only other 2 to ever do that. And interestingly, so he's played, 22 seasons in the NBA?
22 seasons.
Vince Carter has played more in the NBA than he has not played in the NBA. He has spent more than half of his life as a professional basketball player. Very interesting.
Is that where you officially get the term lifer?
Yeah, well. Alrighty, I tell you what, we've got a couple of more sports that I want to get into. There's a really interesting story that has kind of come full circle over the last couple of days that I want to chat about, and it goes to even pulling further out. It goes to a lot of the social unrest and things that our country's going through right now. We'll talk about that when we come back. Let's take that last commercial break, and we will be right back. You're listening to SCVi Charter Schools Eye on the Valley, Homeschooling Answers. I am Matt Watson on your hometown station, KHTS.
Hi, Kirk Stinson here with Plumbing by Kirk, your hometown plumber, here to let you know that it's sometimes more cost-effective to have Plumbing by Kirk fix it than to have your husband wrestle with those plumbing problems. And if you play your cards right, you might not have to let him know that we were even there. We invite you to visit our website for free plumbing advice at plumbingbykirk.com or give us a call, 263-6519. That's 263-6519.
My dad is the best plumber ever. Plumbing by Kirk.
The City of Santa Clarita is working closely with the Los Angeles County Department of Public Health to monitor the coronavirus COVID-19. On March 13th, the City of Santa Clarita issued a local emergency declaration in response to the coronavirus pandemic. Due to the stay-at-home order, the Santa Clarita events like Thursdays at Newhall and the Cowboy Festival have been put on hold for the safety of the community. For information, go to santa-clarita.com. For important updates, visit the emergency blog at santaclaritaemergency.com.
You see so much when you look at your child. A creative spirit that surprises you every day. Curiosity that develops into exploring unique passions. A little leader growing every day to discover who they are, what they love, and how they can make their mark on the world. At SCVi, we see those same amazing things. Our tuition-free K-12 charter school gives your child boundless opportunities to think critically and imagine freely, with a customized learning program built around each individual student. As iLEAD's founding school, SCVi combines an immersive approach to traditional subject learning with extracurricular activities including STEAM, robotics, theater, music, and sports. SCVi has the only international baccalaureate program in Santa Clarita, with a 10-year proven track record of graduates excelling at top universities. And we're in your backyard, just off the 5 freeway in West Santa Clarita Valley in Castaic. For enrollment information or to learn more about our program, including homeschool options, visit iLeadSantaClarita.org. iLEAD Schools, free to think, inspired to lead.
Finding the right lawyer can be a challenge, but in Santa Clarita, there's no need to search when there's Hacker Law Group, Santa Clarita's premier litigation firm. Jeffrey Hacker has represented celebrities, financial institutions, accident victims, real estate developers, realtors, contractors, businesses, nonprofit organizations, and other individuals and companies with their legal challenges. Mr. Hacker is one of Santa Clarita's leaders, consistently listed as one of our most influential. When everything is on the line and you need legal counseling, visit hackerlawgroup.com.
Hi, I'm Eric Goldhurst, Head of Operations for Burger King North America. Throughout this time, we've taken steps to take care of our guests.
And since we know many of your jobs have been affected by this crisis,
we want to help make sure you're taken care of too. If you are looking for work, we are hiring.
And there's a spot on our team for you.
We know that we'll get through this together, as long as we keep taking care of each other.
For more information, call 253-3283. That's 253-3283.
Your hometown station, KHTS.
Welcome back. You are listening to KHTS, your hometown station, 98.1 FM and 1220 on the AM side. This is Matt Watson. I am your host. Joined this morning by, joined every morning by Shane Kutchell, our engineer. He's always pushing the buttons, making sure that we are on the air, but helping us chop up the sports today.
Today I'm pushing my mic on button a little more than usual, so I'll reel that in, though. I'll work on it.
Yeah, no. You've got tons to contribute to this topic and a lot of other topics. You are listening, by the way, to SCVi Charter Schools Eye on the Valley, Homeschooling Answers. And yeah, we were talking about sports before the break and the different sports that are coming back. And I remember for the first time in a long time, I'm not a big hockey fan, but I was getting excited about the hockey season and the potential for hockey to really break loose. Hockey had this potential to become, they are considered one of the big four, but they're kind of that stepchild of the big four. They lag way behind the NBA, the NFL, and Major League Baseball. and they had the opportunity to get out of the gate and come back several weeks, if not a month or more, before some of those other leagues. But they've quietly just kind of fizzled. Where is hockey?
I couldn't tell you, Matt. Where's baseball? They're in a similar scenario. Where's a lot of these leagues? It goes to show, obviously, a lot of details iron out, but it goes to show how valuable that screen time is and how frayed our attention spans are in terms as consumers.
Yeah.
You see all these leagues, all these companies, streaming services are going through the roof right now.
Yep.
Every company has been trying to get some type of content out there, and as cool as it would have been for the NHL to get out there, unfortunately they weren't able to. But it's a big piece of the pie. People were watching marbles racing. I think we talked about that, but for a second there on social media, marble racing was sweeping around and people were tuning in. So it's a very fair, you can see why companies have been rushing to get something out there, because people are starving for this content.
We love our competition. You know, and it's funny, hockey is actually in a way ahead of baseball and in a way behind baseball. They are already into voluntary workouts where players are showing up, again, on a voluntary basis, and they're working out. Training camps are set to start July 10th. But once the sport, like I said, that stood the most to gain, I mean, if you imagine, if they'd have been the first to come back, their popularity would have exploded. They were once the sport that most stood to gain by coming back first, but they still haven't set a date to drop the puck. So they've got a date for camps, they've got voluntary workouts already happening, but they do not have a startup date. Now, college football, on the other hand, I mentioned it before, really interesting. I think college football is a little bit delusional. College football is a regional sport, though. They don't have a commissioner. They don't have a president. They do have the NCAA, but they're kind of powerless. It's more the conferences that are regional that make all these decisions. So it looks like here on the West Coast, the Pac-12, they're playing a little bit more cautious. In the South and maybe a little bit further east, there some of the colleges are talking about we're going back to college football as normal.
And they really want to get back because some of these college programs are significantly tied. All of their income, regardless of not just in the sports departments, but the school itself thrives off of the ticket sales from these football programs.
Yeah.
They're massive. I think I mentioned it before, but if you look at just some of the largest stadium sizes in the entire United States, college football stadiums make up almost a majority of the top 15. Those ticket sales are massive, and those schools want that back.
A couple of years ago, Shane, I went to, actually, I think it might have been last season. I went to a college football game with 111,000 other people. I've never done anything with 111,000 people.
Does the building actually shake when everybody gets that loud?
It does a little bit. It was extremely well built. Just an amazingly surreal experience. But yeah, college football thinks that they're going to have pretty much a regular season other than teams playing within their conference. NASCAR has actually gotten back. Car racing is back and back up. We had an interesting story this last week. Bubba Watson is the first and only full-time NASCAR racer who is African American, and there was a noose found in his garage as they were looking to start the race last weekend. Huge outcry, and NASCAR is huge in the South. There was a big Confederate flag issue. I loved seeing NASCAR. They were very quick to investigate this. They brought in the FBI to research this noose that was in Bubba Wallace's garage. Turns out it had been there since October, and it was actually fashioned, probably somebody getting bored as something was going on, fashioned from the pull string on the garage door. But it was interesting to see how the sport and the country really rallied around Bubba Wallace and took a hardcore stance of, we're not going to stand for racism. It turned out that this probably wasn't a hate issue, but it was beautiful to see all the other NASCAR drivers literally standing behind Bubba. That was fantastic. So there's a lot going on in sports for having no sports going on. We got a lot going on tomorrow. I've actually got a recording artist, a local recording artist, C-Def, Corey DeFino, coming in tomorrow. He's going to be here in studio. You're going to want to check out C-Def. Going to be a great interview. He's coming in tomorrow at 9 a.m. We'll wrap up the hour with Big T. Don't forget to get started on your Christmas gift now. It is Leon Day, and pick up some bomb pops for you and the kids as you head out. I want to thank all of our guests that came in today. I want to thank you for listening. You are listening to Eye on the Valley from SCVi Charter School. This is your hometown station, KHTS.